So failure. Have you ever failed? Do you use failure as your ally? Probably once in your life you probably have come up with one of these stories where you hear about some successful person, and he or her says that yeah, failure was so important, all the times that they failed. You hear about how they tried to knock on 1,000 doors to sell a product, and suddenly they came up with an idea and then they became rich, but they had to fail those 1,000 times. Or Edison's story where he invents the light bulbs 1,000 times and he says that failure was so important. These stories are kind of romanticized. And I've experienced in my own journey, when I think of failure, I don't put myself in that same category as these great people that have success. I think that my failures are harder than theirs. I think that what I experience is different. That's not that kind of failure. I have like a deeper failure that I experience that makes it more difficult for me to continue. But this is of course a fallacy. All the failures that you and me experience are the exact same failures as these successful people that we celebrate in history. I think the only difference is that when we read these stories and hear about them, we only see like a couple of failures here and there. But you can't show a life in a single story or in a book. A life is so much longer. It consists of day after day after day. And in that day there are 24 hours. And in those 24 hours a person can feel so many different things. For us to truly use failure, I think it's very important to always feel that the more you're kind of failing, the better you're doing. Because when you fail, you try. And when you try, you move one step forward. So failure can show up in so many different ways. You can work on something hard and launch it and nobody cares about it. It could be that you come up with a new system for productivity, you try it out and then you crash and burn, it doesn't work. That's failure. It could be that you're in a momentum where, like for example me, I post video after video and then suddenly I feel like shit and I don't want to do anything more with my YouTube channel. That is failure. But what I know at that moment when I have that failure is that I at least tried. I'm some percent better. I think we can use this word failure and flip it on its head and use instead trying. Because when you try something, you will fail. It will not work out. And that's the good thing. You just have to learn how to always try and fail, because when you fail, you actually have come further and then you just retake from where you failed and then you move even further and you kind of stumble your way forward and improve. I'm seeing this now with this YouTube channel I have. I feel like I'm just failing all the time with this YouTube channel. I'm never satisfied with the videos I make. I always think that I can do more, and then I try a little bit and I crash because I don't have the capacity. I don't have the mindsets in place to be able to make something big, and I'm always learning when I'm trying how I'm operating in my best self, how I'm operating in the most sustainable way, how I can do it in the best way so I can continue putting out good stuff. I'm learning patience, that I just have to be okay with putting out like bad stuff or okay stuff, and it will be better over time. My capacity will build. I'm learning that every time I fail in my schedule or productivity, it's just another way for me to adjust. It's just the universe or the world or my brain or whatever just tells me, hey man, just adjust a little bit here. And then I do that and I continue forward. And that's my failure. It's not gonna be like one big story where I had failed 1,000 times here. It's just failing everywhere and just starting to love that process of always falling and getting back up. I think because without that, you're never gonna dare to try. And without trying, you kinda don't win. So that's my rant on failure. If you're a person that's afraid of failing, you're a perfectionist, or you just feel like you need to do it perfectly, you just feel like you can't take that step, I implore you to just just crash. Just do it and get like one step further. Okay, I'm Francis Drake. This is the channel where I improve me, learning to live at the edge of time, seeing the adventure in every moment, and turning the obstacle into the way. I see you on the other side.